A few days ago, somebody left a comment on one of my pages that just stopped me cold. And I had to think about it. But this is what they asked me. They said, why do they hate us so much? And I want to answer that, okay? Honestly, because that question has lived in the hearts of Black Americans for 400 years. And it deserves more than just a shrug, like, I don't know. But here's what I do know. It's not really about hate. It's about fear. Stay with me. Stay with me. When you build an entire identity, an entire social order on the idea that you are above someone else, their freedom doesn't feel like justice to you. It feels like a threat. It feels like loss. It feels like your floor is being pulled out from under you. See, that's what we've been dealing with before this country ever even had a name, okay? Enslavers didn't just want free labor. They needed Black people to be less than. Because if we were equal, the whole story they told about themselves would fall apart, okay? And when that system ended, they built new ones, didn't they? Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration, voter suppression, still trying to do that. And every single one designed to maintain the same thing, distance. Because distance meant dominance. So when Jimmy Lee Jackson tried to help his grandfather vote, see, that felt like a threat to somebody, all right? When John Lewis crossed that bridge, that Edmund Pettus Bridge, creating good trouble, that felt like a threat to somebody. When we build, when we vote, when we teach our children that they are Black and beautiful, when we teach them their history, that feels like a threat to somebody. It shouldn't, but it does. And it does not because we're dangerous, but because they're afraid. Afraid of a level playing field, okay? Afraid of accountability. Afraid of what equal and equality actually cost them. And fear dressed up in violence, in policy, in laws, in a damaged gravestone, in name calling, whatever it is, it's still just fear. Now here's what I want you to hold on to. Fear cannot organize the way love can. Fear can't sustain the way purpose can. Fear can't build anything that lasts. We're still here. After everything, we are still here. And that's not an accident, y'all. It ain't luck either. That's us. People who refuse to let fear have the last word, okay? So the next time somebody asks, why do they hate us so much? Remind them, they don't just hate us, they fear us, okay? As they should, because we're still here and ain't going nowhere.
Chefnya? Narekod? Sawa. White Americans are wondering why aren't black Americans suffering, struggling, protesting, complaining over this one issue economy that's happening today in America. Is affecting entire America today. And I've come to realize that white people, white Maga voters, Maga supporters were voting for hate. Were voting to see, for somebody to suffer. They were voting so that Black American will suffer in their hands. They were voting to make sure that a Black American was suffering. Feel me? And I have come to realize that people do things to hurt other people. Anyways, I have clips here. I want you to take a look at them. I'll come back and talk about the video.
Yeah, their playbook was Black people fighting in the streets all summer. They wanted a summer of violence. They wanted all those video clips of Black people being violent. And the entire Black community collectively in one voice heard their ancestors say, rest, stay home. Don't go out in the streets. They collectively heard it, and they've all listened, and it was right. They have been dealing with a apartheid fascist state for generations, even worse than an apartheid state. Like in the slavery era, that was like they have been in an abusive, narcissistic relationship with the government for generations, since the first person unwillingly stepped foot on this land. They have studied their abusers, because that's what you have to do. When you are a victim to an abuser, you have to study their every movement as a form of self-protection. And they have done that. They didn't have to learn it as they go when he took power in November. They already knew. What do you do when your abuser all of a sudden you hear him walking on the hallway and his footsteps are a little bit off? His breathing's a little bit off. You hide. You go and you hide in your closet. You go out the window and run. You get somewhere safe. They have gone somewhere safe. They are not, resting is not passive. That is not passive protest. That is active protest. And it is working more than anything else that has been being done. It is more effective than I can think of anything else that is being done right now. Resting to me means staying home, saving your money, not spending your money at corporate stores, not buying local, shopping at local stores, going to local restaurants, supporting local businesses, building community, saving your dollars. We brought down Target, and that was 100% led by Black people, by the Black community, 100%. We made Disney come to their knees with just money in a weekend. Like, that is where it hits them where they hurt. We do not need people in the streets being violent. If you feel the call to be out there marching, go march. Do what you feel called to do, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they wanted summer of 2020 visuals, and they didn't get it. Summer's over. They never got those visuals. I guarantee they have some strategy book and they're like, summer of violence, martial law, we can bring troops in everywhere. Every time they bring troops in somewhere that is shown to be peaceful, people wake up. Every time somebody wakes up. It's a snowball. So people that are resting are literally doing the most right now. So thank you for everyone that engaged with that post and are commenting on it. Those comments are literally like, I'm glad I've introduced some people to the term gray rocking. I'm glad I've put words to what people have been feeling, and that people in the Black community are validating that, like, finally a white lady gets it. Because that literally makes me emotional. Nothing makes me more emotional than getting validation from, especially a Black woman. If you come in my comments and say, you get it, I get emotional every time. So thank you for that. Because you all know. Nobody knows the most besides, like, the smartest, most aware people in the world are Black women. And you will never change my mind on that. Because they have to be. They have to be. And they are. So thank you for validating my last post, because that's how I've been feeling about it ever since I first saw people saying, we're sitting this one out.
Okay, TikTok, I'm on a rant again. So this morning I was doing some research for an upcoming TikTok that I'm doing when I noticed something. All the police officers that are going into the homes to arrest the Capitol rioters are doing so kindly. They're knocking on their doors, joking as they handcuff them, carrying their coffees out as they put them in the police car. Wow. So let me get this straight. You guys are going into houses where you know the person was violent because the Capitol protest showed that. You know they probably have weapons because they support the NRA. And yet you guys are doing it so calmly. What a polar opposite to the Black community. Because if a Black person steals a Band-Aid, you guys are going in guns a-blazing, busting windows, flashbang grenades, guns drawn, the full Monty. So why? And all you white people that are going to come in my comment section and say it's the difference between white versus Black, all you're showing me is that you know racism exists and you're not doing anything about it.
We as the Black community decided that the overall American community needs to focus on teaching us about us. The Native Americans don't do that, they teach themselves. The Jewish people don't do that, they teach their kids themselves. The Latino, everyone focuses on themselves except for Black people. We're the ones that demand that the general American history focus in so heavily on Black history and try to basically lump us in or pull us in as a general, part of the American society, which I'm fine with. I'm an American, I'm not anything else. But if we want our kids to learn about critical race theory from our side, let's teach them about the inventors. Let's teach them about the doctors. Let's teach them about the entrepreneurs, not just slavery and things of that nature. And let's not just beg for a space at a white table. We can build our own tables. This platform right now proves that black women can build their own tables and give other black women a platform. Why do we keep needing other people to validate us?
I don't disagree with you at all. I really love everything that you said.
I agree.
So my question
that was built on the generation, though, that the doors were open through affirmative action that for you to even have that thought.
Right.
That's the thing.
Because respectfully, I get amazed at this. Every February, we sit down and we salute the black people that did amazing things in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the black people that have been, we look at Madam C.J. Walker, we learn about people that have done things well before affirmative action, well before civil rights. So says who that we needed all of these open doors? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying I don't think that we actually need DEI. The reality, ladies, you can confirm, we are the lowest benefiters of DEI and affirmative action. It actually
There's a group of people out here that could literally change the world, but they have every right to, not to want to. And that is the black community. Because they do have more power than the white people. If they were to find their power and took leadership, they'll make some positive changes. But because our world is so racist and so masculine and there's no femininity in that area as well, that's why we are living the bullshit life we were living. And they have every right to watch the show and not do a thing because they told us, we ignored them, and now the whites are really the ones that are fucking around and finding out, because they told us many years about everything that we're living in, and they have every right to watch the show and watch us struggle. They don't need to do anything because they tried. Because people are so ignorant, racist, and think they're better. So here.
Now, welcome back. Why did they say that some people do vote to make somebody else suffer, to make somebody else struggle, to make someone else go through a lot? Someone is out there voting for you to be stressed, to be used. I mean, to go through a lot, to suffer in the hand, to complain, to protest. What does the black people do? Back in the days, they used to complain, they used to fight, to protest, and come out in numbers to show the world that they want some rights. But they sat, they thought, and they come to realize that no matter how much you want things to run, no matter how much you want to be having a good life, no matter how much you want to be living peacefully with your neighbor wants to see you struggling. Your neighbor wants to see you suffering. And they realized one thing, that a neighbor will make you struggle for them to be happy, to live normally, right? What do we do? If we keep on responding to them positively, to how they want, they will keep on looking down on us, stepping on us. They will keep on looking down on us every single time. What do? They have to think about how to do these things in a good way. They now have to keep quiet and focus on building their life. Let us build something from this struggle. Let us build a life from this suffering. Let us make a way. Let us maneuver in this whole mess to be on top of something that somebody out there ain't expecting. Black Americans have been trying all they can to prove Maga that what you have been doing voting red, you have been doing it to make us suffer, but you are the one who suffered at the time. Because this time it's you. Tomorrow it's you. Next week it's you. Because I've been suffering for all those years. Today ain't me. Tomorrow is you to suffer. Next week is you. The whole of this year it's you to suffer again. Why? Life offers you something that you can build anything from. Life offers you struggles to keep you strong. Life offers you temptations to keep you wise. life offer you something to generate something from yourself, to know what you are, to know your value. And honestly speaking, Black Americans have been enduring a lot in America, have become something through the struggle in America. They have become who they are today through suffering, protesting, crying, being used, being stepped on in America for a reason. It's high time Black Americans or white Americans to stop all these things that they're doing to make people to suffer economically, financially, almost even politically, almost everything. You're making somebody to suffer for your own benefit while you choose Trump over your own interest. It's high time that everybody must carry their cross. We ain't complaining, we ain't struggling, we ain't crying, we ain't protesting, we ain't doing no shit. Because we want you to know our value in America. Peace out, and I love you.